Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. You're probably wondering, why am I laughing so much sometimes when I first open up my video for the morning? And it's because I often, I stumble sometimes in some of my words when I open, and I'm laughing at myself as I'm doing in the background, because you see the edited version, the post, the post-edited version of my opening. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's episode. Today's episode is going to be about build day 42. It's build day 42 on the construction schedule here at Villa Feliz. Everybody's bright and early, even though it's a Sunday morning. They are here bright and early to try and knock this project out as quick as possible. Take advantage of the days we don't have rain. Take advantage of the days we don't have a typhoon going through, because it is typhoon season, and we've already had 3 go through here. I just got off a live stream chat with Art Carlson from Rycote Drone Solutions. So if you have an opportunity and you want to kind of see what I do in the background, whether you're interested or not, you can check this morning's episode. He has a regular thing called, I think, Saturday Night Live, SNL, Rycote Drone Solutions, and I just got off, and I actually used my my phone. I didn't even think it would work, but he said it was better than using my Mac laptop back here in the backyard. I will check it out later on myself, and I brought him right up to the people working inside in the swimming pool. Anyway, that is a very long intro this morning. I normally don't go that long, so let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Now, this morning, of particular interest to me is we are working on the waterfall right here. And I just have a couple of things that I wanted to work and define with our stone worker here. Sometimes what you're expecting and what the person, their perception, the company that you hire might not be exactly the same. For us, it's close, but I just wanted to make sure there are some really fine details that have to do with water distribution of the waterfall itself and weight distribution. So I was working with him this morning over here, and at first we had this section over here. It was a little bit too defined and focused on the water flow going. It was almost like if you had a pitcher of water and it has a little spout at the end, and it focuses all the water so it pours inside your glass and doesn't go all over the place. Well, we sort of had that just a little bit this morning, so I asked him, let's make it just a little bit wider. I want about a 1.2, 1.3 meter, a little over a yard worth of flow, of the actual nice flow, the sheerness of water dropping down. So we moved this, or our stoneworker here, instead of focusing it this way, we had him move it out just a little bit. There'll be a really big pool in the back, and the pool will fill up so we have a nice calm distribution of water that drops over the top, and he'll be working on that a little bit later on. But right now, trying to get the front of the waterfall in the proper arrangement so we can secure everything down with the cement mix. So Bing, what are you working on this morning? Mortar et al?
Yeah.
Oh, Bing, our foreman here, and the master artisan for all this sculpturing of all this wonderful et al stone, I think he's going to continue. Well, I'm sure this will be completed today as a minimum, this column support for the bridge. I want you to look how nice the rounding curves are doing here. You would never think you could do this with stone like this right here. And this is actually a pretty hard stone right here. This is actually harder stone, this et al, than this stone is over here. And they both have different characteristics and different beauty. So I'm just going to take a sneaky guess is what's going on over here is the line in that he has the level over here. I think he's going to mark where the tile is going to start. So in the event that they want to start doing the et al over in this area, before the tile comes in, they can actually start setting some of the stone if they want to. Just making a guess. I think the tile for this section, the 4 foot, I think it's supposed to come in tomorrow. I think that's what the pool contractor told me, that the delivery is supposed to be on Monday. Okay, so now I understand what's going on here. I just asked Obeng why we're doing this right here and talking about the delivery of the tile. It appears that the tile is being delivered today. We're going to have a Sunday delivery of our lighter blue tile for this section of the swimming pool. So there's a good chance that we might progress on tile laying over on this side as well. Now, something I want to mention this morning before we actually go into the time-lapse video watching the stone build being done. What I wanted to talk about a little bit was one of our finishing tiles that we're planning on using here. As you remember, if you've been watching our build series for the swimming pool from the very beginning, we're putting some very nice non-slip, very small in width, non-slip type of a tile for the drop down from the 5-inch to the 10-inch section, from the 10-inch section, which is going to go across here all the way to that wall over there, down into the 4-foot section. And I really wanted it to go from the 4-foot section down into the 5-foot section, but I only have enough to do these two areas right here. And let me show you that tile that I'm speaking about. It's what we use throughout our entire house, inside and on the outside. And it's this kind of tile right here with the bull nose. You see, this is non-slip. This is very nice. It gives you visualization where the end of your step is. It also, what it does is it's non-slip. And it's very important, especially with these kind of outside tiles. Sometimes the ceramic tiles that you have, when they get wet, they become very slippery. And this will help you here to keep a grip on your foothold when you're walking up the stairs. Well, I still have some of these left over from our project, but only enough to do the 5-inch and the 10-inch section. So let me tell you, sometimes you have to adapt. I went to the store that I bought these at, and they're phasing them out for some reason. They're a wonderful project, but Wilcon is where I bought them, and they have none, according to them, in any of the inventory on the entire island of Luzon. They said they did have some on the island of Visayas, maybe down by Cebu, but it would take several weeks to get that in. In several weeks, this whole project will be totally done. So I said to myself, what are my options? Well, the options is to just not even put any down between the 4-foot section and the 5-foot section, or to try to select an alternative material. So let me show you what I found yesterday, and I'll show you what I plan to do to make it work, because it's not the most optimum type of a tile for that area. Well, first off, what I want to do is I want to show you what we have. Let's go back to the generator room. Now, inside the generator room, I have this, and it's made by this company. The company is called, I think it's called HQ, and this is what we used. These are brand new. I have enough of these to do the 5-foot and the 10-foot inch section. But what I have that I purchased yesterday, I purchased these two boxes. Actually, it was buy one box, get one free. I didn't even need one full box, but it was a free giveaway. And free is a good thing. But let's open the box and I'll show you what we have inside of here. All right, so in here, I have these kind of tiles. They're at least twice the thickness, but they're very similar and they're non-slip. And these tiles are going to work perfectly for the size because they're a bigger area, because they are in a deeper section. In a much deeper section of the swimming pool, there'll be a bigger guide, a visualization to see where the step down is. So if you're going down, especially for my wife, when she goes from the 4-foot to the 5-foot section, she can see where the cutoff is and the drop down is going to be. Unfortunately, there's not 100% good things about this material. And the difference between the material that we have now, the smaller one, and this is actually the exact same type of tile that we use back here for our steps here. Just a different color. You see the different color. This is more of a gray color here. And it works good out here. Unfortunately, the edge on here, see if I can put it up here where you can see. This edge along this area is a little sharper. It's not bull-nosed. So this is what my plan is. I'm going to try it today, and I proposed it to the foreman, and he said if it works, we'll use it. I'm going to get my polishing pad that I use for doing my granite, my granite. When I'm doing, and I'm going to try to make this into a bullnose, a round, nice soft rounded edge on here. Now I don't know, once you go beyond the finishing on here, if there's a different color on the inside or not. If this is porcelain, if these were porcelain, then it would be the same throughout. I don't really know what the material is here. So let me try that, and I'll let you know whether it's going to work or not. Well, anyway, I told you yesterday, I let you know yesterday, we have some special guests coming today. That's one of our special treats. You know, when we were building Villa Feliz, we always had guests. I think we had maybe 60 visits, around 60 visits, and we have a playlist if you want to check those. We have a visit that says Visitors to Villa Feliz. And they would stop by, we would have some interviews, we would have some conversation and chatting inside the Baje Cubo. When the house was finally built, we would do that inside the sunroom. Well, we have some guests that, this is a repeat performance. This is some folks that came in from the US that are getting ready to retire here in the Philippines as well. And what I'll do at the end of today's episode, I will post, where I normally put the 2 videos that you can click on if you are interested in any other episodes that we have. I will put that visit from back in, I believe it was February or March of 2018. So anyway, let's go inside the house and say hello to our guests for today. So anyway, what we have here, we have our folks from Arkansas. They came in from Arkansas. And like I said, they came in, they visited us back in February or March of 2018, right at the end when we were almost done with most of the construction here at Villa Feliz. Anyway, this is Mel Hill. Mel, and this is his niece Lynn. And this is Mel's Asawa, and this is Mirna. Yes. Mirna over here. So they were here again. I will post it. So we're gonna sit here. We're gonna enjoy. I just got to ask you one question. Does it look any different here from when you were here in 2018?
It looks like a jungle now.
That's right.
Coming up the hill, it's hard to find the house now.
Well, it's always great to have visitors come by. Our friends, we have extended friends and extended family now from the channel all around the world. So anyway, we're going to enjoy some lunch inside here, then we'll get back to the construction back on the pool. Just after lunchtime, and while we still have our guests here, I'm going to walk back here just to get an update to see where we are from this morning until now, just after lunchtime. I'm going to speculate that since Obing is up here working on this foot of support, putting the Aral stone here, that maybe the other one is stonework to the top. Almost.
Almost done, sir.
Almost done.
Yeah.
Looking really good. So this is the beginning of the pool that's going to house the first layer of water that comes out of this blue pipe that's going to feed into the waterfall over here. All right, so this area right here, which is going to be the pool that's going to house the water, rise up, and then the water will go underneath the waterfall over here. It's going to have a wall inside here, maybe with a little bit of rebar, just like you would do some reinforcement of the swimming pool here. Remember how we did the rebar, and then they put the concrete on there, and then they waterproofed it. He's going to do the same thing here. Correct? Now, if you look inside, this really looks a lot like the swimming pool construction. Remember, we had concrete hollow blocks on the outside, and then we had a rebar support on the inside, but they're going to build this just like a mini swimming pool. Well, it is the end of the day. The wind has really picked up. I had a hard time with the drone today flying to get any type of air footage. I kept getting high wind, land as soon as possible alerts. But before we go in and do our wrap up of inside the pool, I just want to show you we received our tile today, and this is the tile that's going inside this section of the pool, basically the 5-inch, the 10-inch, and the 4-foot section. I will show you an example of what that tile looks like. It's a little bit lighter. It's a little bit lighter than the tile that's over in this end, and that was by design. Remember, we want this to look like shallow and that to look a little deeper. This is the tile right here. Not a lot lighter, but just a slight shade different from that. We want to distinguish between the deep end and the shallow end over here. All right, let's go down inside and kind of take a look and see the stonework that I got done today. All right, so you can see over here, Hoping is almost done. He's almost done with this entire column right here. And I'll show you something in just a moment as far as our plans for how it's going to finish off at the very end. Now this side over here is started, and this will continue on tomorrow, going up this column as well. Now, you're probably wondering, what's our design with the interface between the bridge and the column in here? How are we going to do the separation between our stone here? And we're going to do something that's going to look like wood. This is going to be wood simulated with something that looks like wood simulated planks on the top. So what we're going to do, we are going to run the Ardal stone all the way up to the top of this column. It's going to look like one full column support right here, and it's going to be a pad up here. This is going to be your little platform, and this is also going to be Ardal stone. So the Ardal will also go around here and match the same that you see on the outside of the pool. Then this section from right here all the way across, I said this is going to be wood simulated with wood planks. We're going to have a wood simulated like a paint up underneath here as well. So when you're going up underneath, this entire bridge is going to look like wood. It will look like wood. While the support, all the column will all look like stone support up underneath it. Now let's focus a little bit on what was done today on the waterfall. So you can see we've made the sculpturing, or the stoneworker here, made the sculpturing so that we have a path for the water to flow down. We have stops on both sides, and it's still not done on the outside. You see a bunch of cement mix on the outside. This is going to be finished with the same type of stonework on the outside. This is doing support, and the reason you see most of the cement in the back is that has to do with that area back there is the pooling area for the water, for the waterfall. And they made a basket, basically like a pool, and that's what these areas are going to be here. And then they'll continue putting stones around here, but it'll dump from this area, end up dumping out around here. So I suspect there'll be more buildup of stones on this side and on that area over there. I'm not sure. I'm just going to follow what these guys are doing. We'll see how it goes. Now before I close for today, there was one more thing I wanted to explain. I was planning on working on this tile to do that experiment to see if I could buff this out with the granite disc that does the polishing. That didn't happen today because we had some guests and we focused on that most of the day. But I will work on this tomorrow. I assure you that's the plan, and we're going to see if we can do some manipulation, some modification, some changes to this tile. I feel good about it. We'll see tomorrow. All right, well that's about it. We're going to wrap up here. I want to thank the Hill family for stopping by, taking their time. It was a long drive from where they're from. Actually, I think they came from Las Piñas, which is not quite so long to come down here, but where they're going to build building is quite far from here. But I want to thank them for coming to visit us here. We enjoyed spending pretty much the entire day with our friends from our YouTube channel here. Well, anyway, it is time to close. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.